American Express is one of the largest companies in the world in the payment processing industry. They are found in the pockets of millions of people worldwide. Since they are already in your pants, what about a way to make your pants grow even bigger with more and more money? One person whose pants are quite big, and that's because he's very rich, that is Warren Buffett. He's held the company since 1991 in his company, Berkshire Hathaway. So if we look at Berkshire's holding, we can see that the company owns $48 billion worth of American Express stock. That is absolutely ridiculous. It is 16% of the overall fund's holdings. This is actually the second largest position in the company. Now, I don't care what you say about his age, he's still super sharp, and that's because he picks winning businesses. Let's go over what he focuses on. He looks for a strong competitive advantage, or a moat. This is a competitive edge that protects them from their competitors, like strong brand loyalty. He looks for consistent earnings. We want to look for businesses with a history of steady, reliable profits. He wants to invest in companies that can make money year after year, even in tough times. American Express makes money in several different ways. They make money from merchant fees or interchange fees. When you use your Amex card at a store or online, the merchant has to pay a fee to Amex. This is typically higher than the fees of other credit card companies, what they're charging, so this is why you might not always see Amex accepted everywhere. There's also interest on credit. If cardholders carry a balance from month to month, well, Amex is going to be licking their lips. Instead of consumers paying off all of their credit card bills in full, Amex is going to charge interest on that balance. This is a major revenue source for them, especially on their credit cards. This is why credit card companies should be scared of people like you and me, because we're smart, right? We pay off all of our credit card bills every single month. And of course, there's annual fees for their credit cards. Some of Amex's cards come with those yearly fees, especially the premium ones. I'm talking about the platinum or the black cards. These fees can charge anywhere from $100 to over $500 a year, depending on the card. There's also the cardholder fees for things like late payment fees or foreign transaction fees, and they can certainly add up. And then, of course, there's partnerships and financial products, right? Amex also partners with businesses for things like co-branded credit cards or other offers. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, Amex, they're already a $200 billion market cap company. What's the chances they are going to continue to grow, right? They've already are so big, it has to stop at some point. Well, you would be wrong, because they actually just announced 13 million new cardholders in their most recent earnings report. They also had a 10% increase in revenue from last year. In 2024, American Express returned capital to shareholders through $2 billion in dividends and $5.9 billion in share repurchases. They know how to reward their shareholders. They also just announced a 17% dividend raise. American Express is actively targeting the millennial and the Gen Z consumers, as they view them as a significant growth opportunity. They are considered premium customers who are more likely to utilize the cards and engage in dining and travel. You gotta get them hooked when they're young. American Express's 2025 revenue performance depends largely on card member spending, or what they call billings. Now, if billings stay at Q4 2024 levels, they will likely be at the higher end of that 8 to 10% in guidance that they gave. The company is also expecting mid to high teens growth in net card fees. American Express, guys, is super friendly. They are hoping that you go on your much-deserved vacations. They're hoping you stay in the nicest of hotels, do the fanciest of fine dining. Of course, they're hoping you use their Amex card when you do all this. In good times, people tend to travel more and use their Amex to book all their logistics. I know at my company, we use Amex for all the company travel. That's thousands of dollars that Amex is pocketing a little bit from each transaction. Now, owning an American Express card, that's quite the prestigious honor. It's kind of a flex, as some may call it. Despite the fact that there's actually well over 100 million Amex cards in circulation around the world, American Express has done a very good job promoting their brand, making it seem like it's this very prestigious thing to have. And that's because American Express is known to attract higher earning individuals. Some of its premium credit card earnings, such as the Black Card, allow individual perks like exclusive airport lounges, concierge services, travel rewards. All these are just things that mere peasants could only dream of, right? You have to have the Amex to do all these. Of course, these don't come cheap. They often have high annual fees. That's how American Express makes a lot of money. And these are fees that rich people really don't mind paying, because otherwise, how would other people know you're rich? Now, of course, good times don't always last. In recessions, people tend to cut down on spending, so periods like this could really hurt American Express. Visa and MasterCard are huge competitors to American Express, and they have a steep advantage with their network effect. You see, the more and more places that offer payment via cards, the more inclined customers are to actually spend money there. But there is this one thing that sets them apart from their competitors. Amex is a closed loop network, so they directly control the entire transaction process, from the cardholder to the merchant. In this system, American Express acts as both the issuer, this is the company that provides the card to the cardholder, and the network, the system that facilitates the payment transaction. Now, some advantages of the closed loop is that they get all the customer data. This allows them to have more custom rewards for users and exclusive perks. Now, some of the drawbacks are they're going to be having higher merchant fees, which is why you're less likely to see Amex accepted. And of course, you're going to have a little bit more risk exposure to people just not paying off their credit cards. Visa and MasterCard are open loop, so they provide the infrastructure for the payment, but they do not issue the card themselves. Now, American Express has actually destroyed MasterCard and Visa over the last 5 years, returning 156%. This is compared to 70% from Visa and 75% from MasterCard. They have also paid a small quarterly dividend every single year, dating back to at least 1989, though it hasn't always increase their dividend every single year. Alright guys, let me know what you think of American Express in the comments below. Thank you to all the Patreons that make these videos possible. Thank you to all the listeners that are listening on the Collect Cash podcast. It's really growing in viewership there, and I will catch you on the next one.
1950, everyone like, jump on this thing, jump on it! I bought it.